Are we live? We're live.
Live! Boop.
Hi, everyone. Thanks for being here with me, Tanji. I
Thank you
don't even
for
remember how long it's been since we've done something together. I know we did readings together with my Bob Ross Positive Energy drink in the
yeah.
summer.
Well, we did the you, me,
Oh, yeah,
Carla.
the tarot tea and tiaras. Yes,
Yeah,
right. We did
yes.
that together. Brain time. We were just
Yeah.
talking about that. So, yeah.
It flies.
Um, it is crazy. And the reason why we're doing this today is because I got a little something in the mail from Tanji. And this was like when I got this package, like even the mailman was like, "Is that you?" And because there's a on the sticker that they put on here, they put an additional letter to my last name, and so I don't have a name on the bell outside of the apartment. Hey, Jonathan. Or aloha. Um,
What?
so he was wondering if that was me, and I'm like, yeah, this is me. And then I also looked at the sticker, and I'm like, okay, it says Canada, but there's just an address, not a name. Trying to figure out the signature. It starts with a T. That kind of looks like Tanji. Could be, and
Did you see
something that
the
never,
print though? Like, don't show it.
something that's never even occurred to me is I would have just to flip it over, and the addresses are right there in big bold letters. I never even did that until I had it next to me. Like yesterday, I flipped it over and like,
That's who it's from. Well, because we
so
have
yeah,
like
even when you messaged me, like, yeah,
on
did you
the
get it? And
other
I'm like, yeah, I
on
got
the corner.
something. I think it's yours. So that's
It
like,
says boop on the back. Hello. You
yeah,
have
I
to know
didn't
this
even
from
see
me.
that part. Like it, and on the side where the sticker is, flip it
Oh,
over. That's where the stuff. So yeah, that was me. My brain
okay.
right now. Oh
That's
God.
okay. I'm glad you got
It's
it.
the end of the year.
Goosebumps.
It's December, and something happened here in the city where I live that hasn't happened in a long time. It started snowing. I'm not used to snow anymore.
Christmas miracle in Germany for Maria
Hi,
for
Shaw
her
woman.
sake.
Oh yeah, and a little announcement. Don't be afraid because Tanji's sound might be a little robotic every once in a while. There might be some technical issues where she is, so it's all good.
Yeah, and
Hi,
if my
Joe.
landlord shows up because the sump pump was going weird for no reason,
Yeah.
I will duck out quickly, but I'll be back. Yeah,
Okay.
just in case.
So suspense is killing. Like I've had this here for a couple days. I
I
got
know,
my big
girl.
scissors. So let me just cut this open.
Let's have some suspense music. Ready? Hi, everybody.
No pressure. It's so shiny. I love it. Oh my God, look at the.
Do you want to do your big thing, and I'll be at the sidebar? What's that
No,
called? Oh.
no. Okay, let's see. I love this bag.
It's the spiderweb organza bag. It's like it became my signature piece.
There's stuff here.
I just love it. I love, I
Rome.
love the Gothic
I
Romans.
do want to go to Rome. That is on my to-do list because I do want to see the museums and the Vatican.
Right? And the channel no longer exists, so it's extra special now. Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Oh, what do we have here? Oh, I've always wanted to wear shoes like this just to try and see what it feels like because they're really cool. Are these yes, they're stickers.
Yeah, they're stickers. Yeah.
Cool.
You know, I love stickers and stationery.
Yeah.
I just thought of you.
Oh,
I think your grandma was like me when I was like, what stickers do I send? And your grandma's like, just send her those ones. I'm like, okay.
This just like the thought that just came into my head was unsinkable Molly Brown for some reason. Like that's what Titanic.
Right?
That's what she reminds me of.
No one bigging here, Jonathan says.
That was the original channel name, right?
Yeah, the Sleepy Oracle.
And now I have a sticker of that.
So you have two. You have a sticker and a postcard for channels that no longer exist.
I feel blessed.
Yeah.
Let's see.
I love those. I got those from the Dollarama, the dollar store. They're like Halloween cutouts, but I like to use Halloween stuff all year long. You guys know. But yeah, it's like you could use it as a card, and you can also like put it on for something. It's like a little cutout, so you could put your stickers behind the house window, like your little doll. I know. I like to do that. I like playing with stationery.
It's so soft.
Yeah, you got the black velvet bag.
Open this carefully.
Maria's package. Black
Let me see where the so there's a tiny crystal in here. Let's do the makeup thing. What crystal is that? Do you know that?
Is it coral? I think, or the
To me, it just looks like pearl stuff, but I'm not good with crystals, so.
It's the shiny, the pearl, the iridescent. It's the coral. I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
Mother of pearl, coral, something like that. I forget.
Okay, I'm putting it back so I'm not losing it.
Yeah.
And so, what was in here?
Dun, dun, dun. That is the last. You have the very last Oracle deck of the Tanji cards. Well, I do have the 44 jumbo Oracle deck for sale, but the regular size, you have the last one.
Jonathan adds stickers to the Bibliomantica. Yes. Oh, I have so many stickers. Like I started a Bibliomantica, but I never even finished it. I got some really cool stickers like Sailor Moon and Dragon Ball Z and all kinds of stuff.
They'd be great.
And even tarot stickers, like tarot cards and stuff like that. But unfortunately, there were so many that were like 3-4 times the same ones. And
yeah. Well, that's what I like. You can give some away. You can use some for what you want, and then use some for a special art project, like a Bibliomantica, or decorating. Like you could use stickers for Mod Podge on a hat, and then Mod Podge it. So that's the signature card.
Yeah. Is that printed on the signature, or did you sign this?
I signed it.
My
signature. Yeah.
So that's the one I got to frame. Oh my God, the unicorn. Oh, I love this. And anything purple, of course. Yes. Oh my God. Hi, Rhiannon. Oh, the surrealist art. Yeah, that's
so yeah, I made them with my teams, my invisible aliens on the spaceship using an AI art generated app. My guides went right into the app and they were helping me. It was like thousands and thousands of images. Yeah.
Yeah, in a way, like a little bit, this reminds me, like this artwork of the Witch's Tarot, like this. Kind of reminds me of that a little bit.
Is that the deck from the James Bond movie?
That's the James Bond one, yeah.
I never did get that one.
So that has like a similar vibe to it, like just the way that the proportions are and the lines and everything. So yeah, that reminds me of that. Oh, have you watched the show Wednesday?
Yes, I binge watched it like a week ago. I was like,
I love it. I mean, that Wednesday is my favorite Wednesday out of all of them that I've ever seen.
Yeah, Jenna Ortega is amazing. They all are. I watched
this one is
behind the scenes of Thing, the guy named Victor, who's a magician. He does Thing, and I was watching how it, and I'm like, what a great gig to get.
Yeah.
So when you look at these cards now,
I see something in here.
When I made these, I made sure everybody understands that you can read them and use them any way you like for your readings, like personal use, but you can read them any way you want. You can read them as tarot, you can read them as oracle, you can use your intuition, because your guides tell my guides which cards to put in. Yeah. So I mixed some of the backup deck with the leftover deck, and I made a deck for you out of what the guides are like, give her this. I'm like, okay.
Like this right here, that reminds me, like, just because of the hair of Dragon Ball with the Saiyans, the kind of hair that they have.
I don't think I've
And Vegeta, he was married to a Bulma who had like her lab and her engineering stuff and everything. So it's like he walking in, like she lived in a big mansion. Everything's like him being in her home. That's kind of what I
cool.
see here.
I'm glad that you can resonate with it. There's
Yeah.
44 cards in the Oracle decks, and it was 78 in the tarot. I no longer have any available, except for the giant 44 card jumbo Oracle deck,
Mm.
which if you remind me, I'll show you after. And every time you look at the image, you'll see something different every time. And it'll be a different
Yeah.
meaning. You could look at it one day and have one meaning, and the next time you look at it, you're getting a completely different meaning. For example.
I know that that's what happens with like tarot cards as well. And like even decks I've used for or that I've had for a long time, I still find new things,
Yeah.
and that is amazing.
Yeah.
I love how the light works in this one.
I know. It's like, well, I could feel my guides in the app, and I could feel them having the best time ever going, woo, oh, this is great. And like type in
I
toast, and they give
yeah.
me something amazing.
I don't know what you see in this one, but for me, this is like the inside of my eyeball. Like this is the eye looking out,
And that's your, what is that
and that's
movie with the
yeah, like
girl?
Inside Out, kind of where the feeling
Inside
from
Out.
the
Yeah,
inside.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Where they're all
kind of
inside
like
the,
that. So
okay.
this is my eye, and like this is like all the space
Nice.
behind
I
it.
didn't think of that.
Huh.
Thanks, Jodes. Yeah, they're and the colors. Some of them, like none of these things exist. So if you see a cake card,
Yeah.
I hope I gave you one. I'm like, I could take it to a bakery and say, could you make me this cake that doesn't exist? Or fashion outfits. I have a few of those cards that I kept. I'm
Mhm.
like, I love this outfit. Yeah, it's kind of like the 80s Duran Duran kind of card.
Yeah,
Yeah.
some of these like they even
Yep.
look a little bit different on camera as when I'm like looking at them directly. That's also kind of funny how that works sometimes.
And you can, yeah, the POV, the point of view,
Mhm.
you can change it around. I even when I did readings with my cards, I would turn them upside down and I would get images too.
This helmet is so Star Wars for me,
Right.
like the Darth Vader helmet. Little Darth Vader.
It's like, and to me, I speak for me, when I make the cards, every card has to tell a story. And so you can, you could use them for like Dixit cards. You can use them like storytelling cards. You can use them for Oracle, Tarot, whatever you want.
You know what I see here? The Grinch. The Grinch
Okay.
has become one with nature. He has evolved.
You're a fun guy, Mr. Grinch. You
Hmm.
look like a mushroom stool. And some of them I just, it's like an abstract. I have the big jumbo ones. I have the cards. I took 7 out and I framed them and put them on my wall in my living room because I love it for decor.
Nice.
Yeah. I'll
Oh, I
get
love
you a
this
picture.
one. I love this. This is so like big picture everything for me. And yeah. Also those books next to her.
Right.
That's yeah.
Is she looking at her bibliomanticas? What's she looking at? Yeah. Some of those are my guides too. Some of the guides came through, like the mushroom creatures are my part of my
Yeah.
fave fam.
This is kind of yin yang for me.
And I like some of them have pictures within picture within picture.
Yeah.
Vimana, right? The Vimana coming down or going up. They have a bunch of those in India and Indonesia and Malaysia.
Hmm. My first thought here was Flying Dutchman, but I'm very opera influenced, so
I get a Peter Pan vibe from that one, like the Doctor Hook or
true. I can see that too. Yeah.
Captain Hook and the alligator. But I have made a bunch of different. I tried to make at least a few of each. Like if I'm making
Hmm.
ships, I try to make a few of each, and each one has its own personality.
That's
What do you
Wally.
see there?
Wally,
Yeah,
the little
right.
robot.
Maria.
That's a nice chair.
Yeah. It's a nice throne. Yeah, a nice throne there.
Is that in a mirror?
I don't know. I can't see it.
Because for me, it's like I see a chair here, and then this whole thing is like this is a mirror behind the chair, and this is what's basically on the other side of that chair.
See, way to point that out. If that's what you see, then that means something. Yes, I can see that now. I didn't think of that before.
So the Disney castle, but there's always more than meets the eye. It's not just the obvious story.
Right. She reminds me of a few different characters. She reminds me of like, what's her story? Did she just eat a lemon tart pie and go, there's not enough sugar in here? Or is she like that all the time?
Did you really just say that? Like, really? That's what you're gonna say?
We should try to make the same face as the card.
This creature up there reminds me of was it the Sandman from Jack Frost that had this similar kind of hair?
Yes,
little yellow.
About that. Yeah. Right.
That is very Johnny Depp, Tim Burton.
I want that coat. So a lot of the clothing, I'm like, I need to make stuff like that. I just love it. Yeah. The sun.
You look kind of sad.
It's like Charlie Brown got caught in acid rain or something.
It's like, no one wants to play with me. I feel all alone.
Aw. Is he like a tiny little creature like in Horton Hears a Who that's standing on a strawberry?
I was thinking something strawberry, like whatever that is down here, but
are they like
he's missing someone. Like this would be my I miss something card.
And you can write on them with your own Sharpie or whatever you want.
Yeah, because I actually do that. I do write on cards.
They take well. If you use a good one.
Jared Leto, 30 Seconds to Mars.
I never would have thought of that, but I see it now. Cool.
Groot with a hat.
Groot's wife or mate?
Maybe.
We are Groot. Love it. Or if Groot's feeling, a little extra girly that day, then yes.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
I love them. I will sit with them and see what they tell me.
Jonathan wants to know, how many bags did you get? Because there's 5 different bags. I can't remember how many I gave you. There's the yellow, which is, they're all representative of me. So the yellow, the fortune teller, the cosmic,
5.
and
5.
the I typed in Roman Biscotti, and it's like me in the future spaceship, and then the alien. Okay, so you got all 5? Yay!
I got this one. That's
me. Well, they're all me.
We've got this one.
Spaceship.
This one.
That's me too.
And I have one of these.
Yeah, it's my fortune teller card. Me. Yay! Well, I'm so glad you love them and that you got them quickly.
Love them. Thank you.
Like 8 days or something, right? To Germany.
Canada. I don't know. Doesn't say date in here. I didn't even check.
I think it was like 8 days.
1st of December. And I got them.
Not even 8 days. You got them a few days ago.
Yeah, like when you sent me the email, when I looked at the email, it was very quick.
Yeah.
Very
quickly. It's the 10th today. And you got them on Monday or Tuesday?
Good question.
It was Monday or Tuesday.
So
you got them in less than a week.
Yeah. And
I paid regular. I didn't like rush it or anything. It was just normal.
That's the thing. I think in December, like something happens real fast. Like last year when I was sending stuff to America, I was expecting it to be on its way forever. And I sent a letter and like Christmas card letter, and I sent a package, and my package made it there sooner than the actual letter.
Wow. Yeah,
Last
letters usually
even in
take
December.
10 days, like from North America to Europe. It's usually that the 10-day mark around there,
It used to be
7, 10, or 12.
7. Hmm.
And you got your package.
Yeah.
If I sent it on the 1st, you got it in a week or less. No,
Yeah.
you got it in less than a week. Yeah.
It
So
was here
that's
really quickly.
Santa helping.
Hmm.
Yeah, they probably have more people on staff too. So the elves and
Yeah.
Santa and everybody. So which ones jump out at you right away? Do you feel like
Well,
what are your
something
favorite?
that jumped out right away was the one when I said Dragon Ball, because that's something that me and my boyfriend enjoy or really like that. And yeah, the Wednesday Addams card, because I just watched that show and I was really impressed with it.
Yeah, it's a really great show on Netflix, Wednesday. If nobody's
Yes.
seen it.
I think what I like about that show is now Wednesday is older, and so she's coming into her own personality and like not
She's
the little
16.
girl of the
Yeah.
family anymore. And she made it very clear that she doesn't want to be like her mom and all that kind of stuff. And I like how smart she is. Like she's so well read and well behaved, well mannered and everything. That's just really hot. Like if I was a guy, I would be totally into her.
I love everything, but she had me at the opening scene with the piranhas in the bag. Not to give anything away, but it's in the
Oh my God,
trailers.
yeah.
It's in the trailers. They show
Yeah.
she's walking down a hall with 2 fish bags full of piranhas. She had me at piranha.
Yeah. But also like when she played the cello and
Yes,
her the
everything.
friendship with her roommate and how those two played together. And I have to
Okay,
say,
so you know the gothic and then the rainbow color. That's me. That's what I have decor. Literally,
yeah,
one room is like gothic and the next room is rainbows and unicorns. So when I saw that, I was like, I'm gonna love this. I'm gonna love it.
yeah,
Everything. I loved all the acting. I loved the writing. I loved everything and nothing. Sometimes, usually, almost always, a show irritates me or there's something off, and nothing in
yeah.
this. Nothing in this.
Hmm.
And I don't want to give anything away that you wouldn't see in the trailers, but right away, like you know how you watch something and you call it out. Like I'm watching it alone, but I'm calling stuff out. Like, oh, I bet you that's that, and I bet you that's that. And I was like 3 out of 4 right, so I was pretty bang on. Uh,
Hmm.
and then after the second episode, you start to get in it more. You forget everything, and you're in this story.
Yeah.
It's like it's new to you, even if whether you know about the Addams family or not. You don't have to know to watch this story of this girl, this
Hmm.
outcast, this fabulous creature she is, and this the school that she goes to, because that's what it is.
Yeah.
And at least just watch the trailer. If nobody, not sure you want to watch it, watch the trailer, and then if you're not feeling pulled in by watching the trailer, then you probably won't like it. But I'm telling you, it it's like a completely different story, but it's familiar. It's the family, but it's like watching something, I think, because it's more updated and modern. Right? Can't wait for season 2. When does that come
But
out?
we have to wait until 2024 because they have to film it, they have to write it, film it, and all that good stuff, you know.
It sucks you
Uh,
in though. It really, like, I binge watched it straight.
yeah,
So
I
I
had
didn't take
like
any
2 or 3 days. Yeah, like when I had the time. It was up 8 episodes season instead of 10.
They've lowered a lot of these shows I noticed on Netflix, they like drop to 6 and then they're like, okay, we'll
Yeah,
go back to 8. And then I'm like, if you get
I
13 episodes in something, that's pretty
yeah,
awesome.
because there's a lot of cancellation going on these days, money stuff, and
Yeah.
now they're trying to see if an audience likes things, to see if they put any more money in it. Because like this happened with the network CW. They pumped so much money into all of these superhero shows that a lot of people didn't really fancy all too much, and so they didn't put money into other things that they
Yeah.
could have.
The other shows
And
that people are
so,
really chomping at the bit to watch got
yeah,
disappointed because they didn't put the budget into it, or they didn't make enough episodes, and it kept you
yeah.
wondering.
And now the
wondering.
CW has a new owner, and they're trying to make budgeting choices. So that means a lot of things are just getting the accent. That's done.
Um,
So I'm really sad, even though they didn't really have too much going on anymore. But the Legacies was canceled, like from Vampire Diaries, that spin-off show.
I never watched
I
it, but
wanted at least one more season to get like a real conclusion or something, but like leaving with a cliffhanger, I always hate that. And they also
yeah.
canceled Roswell because now finally something interesting started to happen, and of course we're not going to get to see it. Hi, Aiden.
Hey, everybody coming in.
So
I suggest, just for fun, if you want to be whimsical, Tubi TV is free app. It's like Netflix, but it's like B movies and things that you never heard of or thought, forgot about when you watched when you were younger. Try the Tubi TV app and watch, either rewatch or watch the old show. Like you get like 22 to 36 episodes per season, like Elf or Silver Spoons or Family Ties. And sometimes it's fun to watch them, even just an episode or two, to get out of this constant CGI animated go fast paced Netflix in your face. I get it, I like it, but I also like to go back to the old shows, and like back when times were simpler, before CGI saturated everything.
yeah,
You had puppets, you had Elf. You had the Little Wonder. She was a little girl that was a robot, and
yeah,
obscure movies that are even today, like made in the 70s and 80s, that are even relevant and really awesome still today.
yeah.
So, there's always free Tubi TV app. I can never, praise it enough. It's just the stuff that you forgot you knew. Movies and shows from long ago. But yeah, older movies too, older shows. They have new stuff too, and they rotate things. The Canadian one might be different than the American and the European one, but it definitely, because a lot of people don't know that the movies or shows they love are actually like 2 or 3 generation remakes. And you watch like 70s movie and you're going, Invasion of the Body Snatchers? What had been? And then it's like, it's the pod people today, 50 years later. But the original is sometimes better. Sometimes it doesn't have all the bells and whistles, but the acting and the story and the music, that creepy, the 70s camera cinematography where they just stay on a scene. It's not cut. It's not heavily edited. And they stay on the scene, and then the guy looks at the camera, and then you hear.
Yeah. I mean, there's even one Hitchcock movie that's basically just one take. That was the Rope or something. It was at this party that they had in this apartment, this dinner party, and the camera was just going like all throughout the room, following this character, then this. I mean, there are cuts in there. If you know where to look, you can find it. Like, for example, when something is getting close to a person, like pushing in on their back and then coming out again, like there's a cut, something like that. Even the Spice Girls wannabe video that looks like it's a one take, it's not. It has like 3 or 4 cuts in it.
Oh, I think even Tubi had, at one point they had the Spice Girls movie, Spice World. I love that movie.
Oh my God.
I love it. It's ridiculous, and I love ridiculous stuff.
Yeah.
But because I just love the back and forth. I love Netflix, and then I go on Tubi for like the parallel universe of Netflix would be Tubi TV app. It's movies and TVs and shows. If you don't know it, please check it out.
Bye, Show Woman. Thanks for being here. Yeah, one show that I like in Germany didn't even know existed because it probably was never shown here. but I found that when I was in Minnesota over the summer. It's called Bunheads. Sadly, it only had one season. It was by the same creators of Gilmore Girls, and a lot of the Gilmore Girls actors and actresses showed up. Each episode had like one. It was also the Kelly Bishop, who played the grandma in Gilmore Girls and who was also the mother in Dirty Dancing. She
Okay.
was a constant. And this was about a woman who was a showgirl in Las Vegas. And then a guy that was basically a fan of her, he came to her performances and then he asked her to marry him. And then so he brought her home. And turns out his mother has a dance studio. Like she actually teaches ballet on the property. She has her own dance school. And then she becomes a dance teacher at that school. And there's also these four teenage girls that go through their own stuff. And it's really kind of like the fast pace of talking that Gilmore Girls had, because it's the same writers.
That's
And
very fast.
with
Yeah.
ballet, I just loved it. And I was so sad that it only had, I don't know, like 12 episodes or 13 or something. So, hi,
I
Amy.
remember hearing, but I think I watched it, Bunheads.
Yeah, I binged it, and I was like,
but I forgot.
As soon as Steve would go to work, and he's like, "So what are you gonna do today?" I'm gonna watch an episode of Bunheads, and he was like, "Yeah, okay." So,
Not to be
yeah.
confused with the new baking show on Netflix. Yeah.
Yeah, so that one was really good. And
this time
right
of
now,
year, I really like to get into like cluster movies. So a bunch of like, say, Johnny Depp movies, Edward Scissorhands, Tim Burton movies, Vincent Price movies, all the ones I can find. There's a lot of free ones, black and white Vincent Price movies or early color on YouTube for free. The Bat. I just saw that. I saw that last year at Christmas time. I think it was last year or 2 years ago. I don't know. Time. Me. But you discover a lot of these classic movies that started it all are free on YouTube. Yeah, because they're past their whatever date and they can play them. But I'll tell you, it's refreshing to go back to see how, yes, I love the blow 'em up and Jason Statham and and all the cool stuff on Netflix, but it's nice to take a pause and go back to the old school. He's watched the Vincent Price movies and the Hitchcock films, and it's a different time.
Yeah.
And I was just talking about this with Daniel, the Magic Boutique thrift shop owner. You guys know I get great stuff from Daniel's. A lot of things coming. I might show next time I'm on someone's live. But he and I were talking about nobody dresses like that anymore. Like, really?
Yeah.
I mean, maybe one or two people, but communities don't do that anymore. They don't dress in the top hat and the coats and tails and and it's a different time. So I like watching that. I like watching Cary Grant and Psycho, the original Psycho, the hairstyles, the dialogue.
Yeah.
It was a wizard adept. Which one? The Bat? What was it? Vincent Price, The Bat? No. Wait, what? Sorry, hon. Sorry, Jonathan. I said like 6 different things in between. Which one? Vincent Price, The Bat. You haven't seen The Bat?
I haven't seen it.
Oh, well, I just saw it. Like, I've heard of it, years ago, but I just saw it.
I don't know.
Like, is it last Christmas or the Christmas before? It's on YouTube for free. You're welcome. Just watch it. You like it or you don't, right? I liked it.
But what I also like is the film noir from the 40s. Like one of the, I just had to look up the title. It was Double Indemnity from 1944. With like the typical femme fatale and all of that. And I also loved how they did the lighting with like having the eyes and the light and the rest of the shadow. Oh, I loved it. Like they recreated that with the Angelica Houston, Addams Family stuff when her eyes would also I love that. Like that is good cinematography and the lighting and everything just to really paint a picture. You can do so much with light and yeah, I miss that.
You know what movie gives me all of that? And I only speak for me. It gives me every genre and everything I could ever want. Clue with Tim Curry and all the greats. Girl, don't tell me you haven't seen Clue.
Is that where they all come together for the dinner party?
Yeah. Okay.
And
Yeah.
so
It's based on
Columbo
the
is
board
there, right?
game.
Peter Falk, yeah,
Based on the
yeah.
board game. It's like one of
And
the
there's
funniest
this
classics.
Chinese
Not that
guy or
old.
something, yeah,
In the
yeah.
80s.
Oh, it's
Clue.
been I think I was like in
Yeah.
6th grade when I saw that.
That's another one I like to watch yearly. So I'll probably
I
watch
love
that
the
this
board
week.
game. Like that's one of my favorite games,
I
actually.
prefer the movie to the board
I'm
game.
always Mrs. White or Miss White, Mrs. White, yeah, and I'm usually the murderer.
That's the kind of like Young Frankenstein, Clue, Rocky Horror, Legend. I guess it's the 80s core, but you get some movies today that embody that.
Mm-hmm.
That kind of, I don't know, the je ne sais quoi, I cannot say. The style of
Mm-hmm.
filmmaking. It's rare, but you do get movies that capture that, and I absolutely enjoy that. That because they're trying to capture today's movies are capturing the 80s genre that was capturing the 60s genre that was capturing the 40s genre that was capturing the 20s. So it's like an improvement of something beautiful. I like I said, this is a time of year where every year around this time I go back and I watch movies I haven't seen in forever, but that I loved growing up or that had an impact on me because I'm a foodie and I'm a movie buff. Those are my things. Food and movies. Yeah.
I second that.
Mood and foobies. So every year this time I just like I haven't seen that in a while. You know, Dirty Dancing I watched like every 2 to 3 years. Tu Wong Fu I watch it like every
I
year.
just watched that a couple weeks ago.
I can't get it. That's the kind of movie you can put on the background and go about your day and just let it play
Yeah,
all day long. And
I
Priscilla, Queen of
love
the Desert.
them. Vida Boheme and Noxima Jackson. Oh my God, I
I
love it.
know John Leguizamo. He's so pretty. I can't
Yeah.
stand it. No, Brandon. Yeah, so that's what I'll be doing the next few weeks. Is switching between Tubi app and Netflix app. You know what I like to do? I like to watch like the whatever movie's out now, and then I'm like, I find out it's a remake, and then I go and find the remake original. In fact, I'm overdue to watch the Wicker Man original one. I'm gonna watch the original Wicker Man with Christopher Lee.
Huh.
You're welcome. But if you're scary, you don't watch it. But yeah, and then I'll watch the remake with Nick Cage. That's what I like to do. I like to watch the different versions of the same film.
Have you seen the Interview with Vampire, the new series?
I can't get the channel. No. Okay. And I've
Yeah.
got everything. I've got like Apple TV, Disney Plus, Discovery Plus, everything. And like it still says either it's not available in Canada or you have to, you pay a few bucks a month for a stream. You go on it. It says the show, you click on it, and then it says, how do I watch this? You need to subscribe to this new streaming. And I'm like, no.
Oh.
I'm doing it.
Yeah, I watched it, and at first it was very off-putting because they have changed a lot. Like even the time when the story takes place is a different one.
Oh, is it not a
And
new interview? It's based on the
yeah,
same. Oh, right. It's
it
based
is.
on the
It is a
pre.
continuation of the movie, but it's
Oh,
with the same characters, but completely different cast, of course. And so,
yeah.
without giving too much away, the interviewer that used to be Christian Slater, like he did this original interview with Louis when he was younger. And so now, all this time later, we have this older guy who goes to interview a vampire, which is Louis. So now the human has actually aged and he's doing the interview again. because Louis wants to retell it and add a few things here, maybe leave a few things out, change the whole story to make it better. And I have to say, I don't really know. Like, I've watched the movie with Tom Cruise and Brad Pitt. I don't really know which Louis I like better. I definitely like this Lestat better because Tom Cruise, I feel like he's always just playing Tom Cruise in whatever he's in. And so he was more concerned with looking pretty and being flamboyant and whatnot. And this Lestat is, I think, more true to
the
books.
Yeah.
And yeah, and also I had some misgivings about the Claudia at first because she was older than the one played by Kirsten Dunst. But her character development is really interesting. And so I actually liked her towards the end. So I didn't see that coming, so that was good.
So they get more into detail of things that they didn't get into the movie.
Well, yeah, they had a 8 episode. I think it was 8 episodes. 6, 8, 8. I think 7, 8.
Where do you watch it on?
Online.
Okay, like
where I'm not supposed to.
Oh, okay. Because I'm trying to.
Because I'm in Germany, I can't get that stuff here.
Interview. It's called. Is it Interview with the Vampire just show or
Interview with the Vampire? Yeah, I think the original channel would be AMC or something.
So there's the.
But I think if you look Interview for Vampire 2022, you should find it.
AMC. Yeah. Oh yeah, you can play free episodes. They got me with the Winchesters. Play free episodes, and they let me watch the first 2, and then they locked me out of all the others.
Yeah,
and they want like $10 a month. I'm like, nah. Yeah, and so Interview with the Vampire, Lost Boys. What was the other one?
Yeah, I'm not gonna watch that Lost Boys thing. I'm really sad that they have to make all these mistakes. I love the original. I'm not gonna watch the new one. No.
There's a new one. What do you mean? There's a new one?
They're going to make a new Lost Boys movie. I'm not going to watch it because, like, I don't think that needs to be remade because now they would just probably add a lot of bells and whistles and stuff. No, the original movie was good the way it was. Just leave it. Like, they didn't even have to necessarily remake Interview with a Vampire. I wish they would just come up with new original ideas and not give us the same thing over and over again.
Yeah, don't reboot it. Add a new story.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
the twist that they put in, like, as a continuation, but also they changed the dynamics kind of between characters here, and I guess that's because the movie with Brad Pitt and Tom Cruise kind of went off the rails, and so they're now bringing it back to the books a little bit closer. But yeah, I wish they would just come up with new, original, fresh ideas and give us something we haven't seen yet. New I mean, you can just think of a story, think of a character. What do they experience? Why do we need reboot after remake after whatever? I don't get it.
Hybrid crossbreed. Like, I want to do it in my mind. I push a button and then I can watch it on the spaceship kind of thing. Like, I want to mix, Back to the Future and Tu Wong Fu. Like, I want the next movie to be a bunch of beautiful drag queens on a road trip, and then they go into the future where drag queens like run the planet or something. Like, I want hybrid ideas because it seems the whole point of movies, I speak for me, is to take you somewhere outside of the ordinary of what you're normally used to. Give us a fantasy, give us the, that would never happen. Of course it wouldn't happen, but it's in the movie, so it can happen. And then, of course, life imitates art. But I want something so out there and so different. Because if I want to watch reality, I'll watch reality shows. I don't like it when the movies stick to, you know what I mean? To the, like, this is the story.
Yeah.
If it was real, it would be like, it's not real. It's fantasy, so give me fantasy. Change it up. Give me shock. Give me like, what? But don't remake the same movie. Continue the movie. And then throw something at me that I wouldn't expect. Because, you know what I mean? I'm just sick and tired of these constant regurgitated stories that aren't, they're all the same. It's like somebody put the names in a bowl and we're going to redo. I do like it when they take like the original Japanese or German movies and then they make the North American version. Sometimes, like, I like Vanilla Sky. I know a lot of people don't, but I really liked the concept of the movie Vanilla Sky. And I thought Penelope Cruz was amazing.
Mm-hmm.
That story at the time, I hadn't seen anything back in the 90s whenever it came out. I hadn't seen that. And it was a remake of a foreign film. But I like that idea of let's remake things. Oh, Troll. I just saw Troll from Sweden on Netflix. And you have the option of watching it in its original language, English dub, or subtitles.
Yeah.
Or whatever language. And I watched it and I loved it because I like to see other countries, because I grew up watching foreign films. My mom was a librarian, so she would bring all these movies from all over the world, when I was growing up. So I like to see that because the mainstream shows and movies you get these days are Americanized. Morgan, North America, the typical regurgitated stuff. But Troll, it was like Godzilla meets mountains. And it worked because it was the way that was it Swedish? Oh, shoot. Norway? I think it's Norway. I forget. I'm sorry. Wherever country that was from, infused their filmmaking, gave you their way of doing it. And then it just worked for me. I absolutely love that. So I would like to see that. I would like to see, I can't always stare at a screen and read the subtitles. It does give me a headache too long. So I do prefer, I'm the kind of person that I like the English dubbed. It doesn't bother me. I would like them to do that instead of putting millions of dollars into these new movies that might flop or just not going anywhere. Please bring all these obscure movies that people can't get to or don't see because they're buried in these blockbusters, and English dub them and bring them up to the forefront, which I noticed Netflix is starting to do, and a couple of other stream platforms. But we need that. We need all these amazing movies that already exist that you'll never see because they're in a different language. We need to bring them to the forefront. Do some research, you guys. Check out the amazing movies that have been made, the past 20, 30, 40 years that you didn't know existed. Original version was filmed in your hometown because it was pre-earthquake. Of what?
I'm guessing that was Interview with the Vampire. Or was it Lost Boys? No.
I'm going to go down a huge rabbit hole. Foreign films with English dub.
One franchise where I'm glad that it didn't go past the first movie is the Millennium Trilogy. I don't know if you know that one. It's from Scandinavia. It's the girl who played with fire, the girl with the dragon tattoo, and the girl who kicked the hornet's nest.
Yeah.
Bumi Rapaz.
I've seen both. I've seen the original. Was it German? And
no, it's Swedish.
Swedish. No,
they
were Swedish, both. Yeah. First of all, that's what I'm talking about.
I love Daniel Craig. No.
The original blew me away. And I was excited. So when I saw the remake, I already knew the story. But I thought it was good. I thought it was really good. But because the original won my heart, because it was in its own language, I watched the subtitles back then. It's harder. Now I'm 50. It's hard to keep up with them. And it hurts my eyes. And I get turned off and then I don't want to watch the movie. But if it's dubbed, I'll watch it. Anyway, that's what I'm talking about. The original Girl Dragon Tattoo foreign films. And things like that are getting pushed to the side because all these new blockbusters are coming. I think everybody should just take some time and enjoy the movies that already upcycle your movies.
Yeah.
Obstacles
But
to
the thing
movies
with that one,
haven't
they
been watched.
made the remake 2 years after the original came out. Why? There is no need for
They
a
wanted the
reboot or
American
remake.
version. They
Like,
wanted
but
the
it is
standard
dubbed.
version.
I've seen it in other languages. So
Yeah.
there's
Honestly, though, the original, without giving it away, I mean, the story, if you know the story, it's very, raw. But the original gives you, I didn't read the book, but you gloss
mm,
through it. It gives you the essence of the book come to life. That first raw, because that's where it takes place.
yeah.
Okay, if like Ghostbusters, if the original Ghostbusters didn't take place in New York, would it have the same magic? I don't think so. I think
No.
because it's a story that originated, there was nothing like that before. New York, 1984, Ghostbusters, three guys. That was the whole new thing, and it works because it's the placement, and that's what I think about the original Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. Works because it's in its motherland. It's in the original place that took
Yeah.
place.
It's in Sweden. Yeah.
Uh and so I just think producers, because I grew up in the acting industry, this is what I did for the first 17 years of my life. A lot of people want to push, they have ideas, producers and directors have ideas to kind of, what's the word? Whitewash or gloss over paper mache something, and you lose
Mm,
the original text of a story. They want
hmm.
to fluff it up. Never Ending Story Part 2. There you go. Horrible. Horrible.
Yeah.
They shouldn't have messed with the formula. But if they did a different story and said they're different characters in Fantasia rather than try to, make them the same,
Mm,
they try to recapture the magic from the first movie. You can't do that.
yeah.
Some movies you just can't do that. But I think as me as a viewer, it's my responsibility to go into the sea of movies and find and research all these gems that have been buried over years from the new fluffy stuff. I don't want the fluffy stuff. I want to see what I missed out because the blockbuster came and then wiped the little indie film or the foreign film off the cinema, and I didn't get to see it.
Mhm.
I want to go down that rabbit hole, and that's why I love, this time of year, you get all the free, try for 30 days, 3 months free of Apple TV. I'm like, yes, yes, yeah. So I have to watch as much as I can until all my things run out. But this is what I encourage is just like with books, read a book you've never read before that you would never read from a long time ago. See how that is a different mindset.
Mhm.
Watch a movie that you wouldn't think of watching the original version of from years and years ago. And it's a story. This is what movies are. They're
Mhm.
stories.
Yeah.
And this is why I love not just because I grew up in the industry, but I love the storytelling. And sometimes you come across the gems like Pan's Labyrinth. That was a foreign film. That blew my mind, you know?
What book do you
Never
mean,
read the book.
Jonathan?
The movie was only the first third of the book. Oh, Interview with the Vampire. I couldn't get
I'm
past
guessing.
I couldn't
Mhm.
get past a few pages because the writing messed with
Never
my
ending story.
Oh, the never ending story. I did not. And it was you, Jonathan, that told me about. Okay, it was never ending story and The Last Unicorn. That I love the movies and the story, and I wanted to get the books to read the original books because I've had Jonathan told me about Never Ending Story. Original book was you got to read it, Tanji. I'm like, okay. But also others have told me about The Last Unicorn because I absolutely loved the animated movie, which that's another one that gives you reality in a fantasy world. Like that's how they should talk. That's what they should say. That's how I would react if I was a unicorn. I'm not going to be all PC. I'm going to tell you how it is. And then I got the tarot deck, and I was like, "No, I got to get the book." It's from the 60s. But yeah, that's what I want to venture down this holiday season. I want to go back to different times and different stories that I haven't explored. And I've seen a lot. Like, I've seen a lot. So what's left? Well, a lot of the foreign films that now with technology, they dubbed them. I can watch them now and not get a headache when I'm trying to read it.
Yeah.
What will you want to explore? Are you more of a book person, show person, or movie person?
Well, and the funny thing is it changed because back in East Germany when we didn't have so much, I was a book person. I really enjoyed my books and magazines that I had as a kid. And then after the fall of the wall, suddenly we had all this American TV stuff and American movies and stuff, and I had so much to catch up on. There were all these cartoons all of a sudden. Oh my God.
Saturation. There was a lot.
I became a TV person, and the books just took a back seat. And yes, I love visual stuff, and I mean that's also kind of what got me into my job, being a videographer. Looking at that stuff, how is it done? Like back in the day, I would watch TV so much. My mom would always ask me, "Why do you watch so much TV?" And I'm like, I'm gonna need this later in my life. She's like, whatever.
It's training.
And now I'm standing behind the camera. I make videos and stuff. And whenever my mom teases me about that, I told you, you didn't listen to me, you didn't believe me, but hey.
Okay, well, before we go, because I have to get going soon, if you're okay, whoever your favorite director comes up to you and says, "Okay, Maria, the aliens told me I had to come to you. We're going to make a movie." Bam. Anything you want, no budget. It's the sky's the limit. What is the movie you make? Go.
Oh my God. That is something I have to say.
What is the movie you'd make? Unlimited resources. What is the movie you'd make? Well, Maria thinks.
I guess it would be something about love, but not like the warm, fuzzy kind of stuff. More like the stuff that shows or that things are not showing in movies, like the hurtful and how you actually have to fight for love sometime. Like it would be kind of like
you know what I would like to see? The dialogue that goes on in people's heads when they're having conversations, because you see that scene where he's trying to tell her this and you could see the body language, but you're not hearing their inner monologue. I want a movie that does that. Give me the regular scene and then split it and mute what he's saying and let me hear what he's thinking and she's thinking. So the movie is all about you get the story, you get 1 hour of the story. Then it goes back to the beginning. Split screen. And the talking part is muted. And now the real story unfolds because it's what they're thinking.
Oh my God.
So she could be like, "Oh, I love spending time with you." And in her mind, she's like, "Oh my God, did I leave the iron on? I don't know. I think I need to leave. I got gas, but I don't want him to know that I'm going to fart." And so she's like, "Well, I got to go. Thanks." And he's thinking, "Oh no, what did I do? Does she hate me?" And she's thinking, "I got gas." You know what I mean? I want to see movies like that. Yeah. Because I'm strange and unusual. And I like that stuff.
Yeah. Whatever movie
I normally see.
Whatever movie I would make.
Would you do that with your movie, Maria? Would you give me that much?
Maybe. Whatever I would do, I would make sure that it's not one of those movies where you actually yell at the screen. For example, if there's a car chasing a person running away from it, I would make sure that the person would actually run into the woods and not along the street.
Right? Why do they run? Go left or right?
Yeah.
That's like what I always
say. Those kind of moments would not be in my movie.
The common sense film.
Yeah.
Right? Let's take regular movies we already know and change them. Let's do that. That's what I would do if I had a director. I would take all my favorite movies, put them together into one. Did you see The Bubble on Netflix? That's what I'm talking about. Something like that. It's new. The Bubble. Now, see, there's something original and different and hilarious. But that's what I want from a movie. I want the reality of that story. Now, that story could be in space. That story could be 1,000 years in the future. It could be 5 million years ago. it's still the reality of that film. It's not my reality. So I want to see their reality and how they react in real time, not what a director wants not what you want the audience. What is it? Not what you want to give the audience of now. Don't make a movie for people watching it now. Make a movie for people watching it 20,000 years in the future. You know what I mean? It doesn't have to be based on reality. It's a movie. Have fun with it. It's like a dream.
I mean, something that's so funny when you now watch movies like, I think, what was it, Demolition Man, for example, that plays I think it's like our time right now, how they imagine the future to be, or even Back to the Future and all of that. Like, we don't exchange bodily fluids anymore.
Right.
And all of that.
A lot of it is hauntingly, eerily real. And I liked that they did that. They gave you, I still don't know what the 3 seashells does, but they gave you something different. And that's what I like. It's a movie. Change it. Don't give me what I already know life is. Give me something different.
Yeah, something like how we imagine the future, and then 20 years from now, seeing if that actually turned out that way.
That's the thing. I mean, I'm still waiting for the WALL-E reality, what's it called? Live action version. You know, WALL-E.
Were they going to make one?
No, I'm waiting for it.
Oh, okay.
Right?
Gotcha. Oh my God.
Okay,
WALL-E.
well, thank you for reading this. This has been great. I'm so glad you love your cards. And will you be doing readings?
Especially with the backstory that you told me.
Right? You'll do readings with them?
Of course.
Keep an eye out for that. I would love that. I'd love to see you do readings.
Yeah.
With them. Have fun with them. Or use them for art or whatever you want. Yeah.
No, I'll use them for readings. Definitely.
Oh, do you want to see the jumbo ones quick before we go?
Yeah.
So I think most of you guys saw these. I had to get the jumbo and they smell good. Make playing cards. This is the jumbo Tanji cards, which compared to the regular. Right? And they're so, I just wanted to print my favorites.
I love that brain.
They're so cool to hang on the wall. It's like, don't let your brain get away from you. Right?
Oh, some people do that.
Like, I used to do ventriloquism and puppetry, so when this came out as good as it did, I was like, that is too funny. And then, of course, I love unicorn. I love unicorns and I love love, so unicorn love is great.
Yeah.
And then I had to have the everything and the kitchen sink card. It's cool because they would give me like futuristic Star Wars, Mandalorian type imagery because the AI app is so funny. It's so cute. I feel bad for it. It doesn't understand what a sword is. So if you type in, 5 of swords, it doesn't know what a sword is. So it gives you like a weird, hold on. It'll give you like a weird image. Like, okay, so her face looks like it's melting, but look at it'll turn it into something like textured, but not.
Yeah.
What a sword would look like.
It looks like stairs.
Right? And it's a train. Like, are there stairs at the train station? You're going to step on the platform. Maybe it's a future escalator moving. Who knows? But it's so cute because I felt bad for the little AI app. It was trying. And you can give as much detail and description as you want. It will still turn it into what it thinks a sword should look like, or a unicorn horn, because it's on the side, but that's close enough. It's not going to give you perfection, but you don't want that. It's like a story. Hi, Heather. You want, when you use the AI art apps, you want it to be something different that you're not going to see anywhere else. I like the fact that their faces are all, cartoony or in a dream.
Yeah.
This is my own version of the Doctor Who.
Right.
I want it fantastical. I want it to look like I'm looking in the future, in the past, going by on a train. You don't see the detail, but you see enough.
Mm.
Strength card. Right. It gave me a perfect toilet, but it couldn't give me a sword. See, here's an example. 10 of swords. These are the swords. It's like a
Okay.
melted
10 of
butter
cities.
knife with a camping spoon.
Oh my God.
And the guy's so sad. But then I'm like, oh, look at the story. The trees are cut down. Well, that's why the knives look like that. Or swords.
Yeah.
So it actually makes sense. But yeah. It was just really fun to make.
Aww.
You are your own pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. And then this is great. Open the cargo bay doors, please, Hal. Sorry, Dave. I can't do that. Kind of the computer and the machine taking over. Yeah. And then legs of the crow, it would distort it into like metal. I just thought this was great. I'm like, give me that. Give me strange and unusual. Don't give me a crow on a book stack. Give me a dream version or futuristic AI version of a crow on a book stack. That's what I want.
That's cool.
And that's what I got from the
cute.
art. Isn't that cute?
Yeah.
And then this is like reminds me of my Botanimi Bibliomantica, which was
reminds me of Ahmed, the dead terrorist.
Oh, the puppet?
Yeah.
Yeah, Jeff
whatever.
Dunham.
Yeah.
Jeff Dunham. Is it Jeff Dunham? Yeah. And then, as above, so below. With the angels, aliens. But yeah. So these images, I just loved them so much, so I had to get them printed in the jumbo. And then I put them on my wall. Look at alien garbage can. I love that. But anyway, so I have 44 of those available. 80 Canadian, shipping included to anywhere in North America and the UK and Europe, because now I know it's not that expensive to send to Europe. Oh. And that's the last deck that I have. I won't be making any more for a while anyway, if ever. But yeah. So I'm glad you got the last Tanji card size. Regular size. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
Thanks for having me. Thanks for
being here. And by the way, your hair looks awesome. Sexy.
Love it. I'm embracing like Shirley Temple midlife half century. What is it?
It looks awesome.
Good ship, lollipop with my unicorn horns and the candy shop. Well, as soon as I cut it, she went, "Oh no, what'd you do?" Like my hair. And then 2 days later, she went, "Oh, I'm bouncy again." So I missed that. I'm glad she's got her bounce back.
Yeah. Did you do it yourself?
I did. I was like, done. Delete channel, rotate decor, get some new clothes. I'm starting a new 2023. I do this every year.
I wish I was that brave.
Every couple of years. I just change up the energy. I just stop the old ways and do something new. If I haven't tried it yet or hadn't done it in a while, I rotate the energy. I can't get stuck in the stagnant.
Yeah.
There's a song. Let's sing that as we say our goodbyes. Can't get stuck in the stagnant. You gotta try something new. Recycle up your energy, your furniture, your clothes, your hairdo. You're gonna enter 2023. Time to shift your energy. You don't have to do a drastic thing, but start somewhere.
And sing.
And sing and change up your hair with a hairband. Yay! Thank you.
Awesome. Well, thank you everyone who's been here in the chat, who's been with us. And thank you, Tanji, for being here. Thank you for this awesome gift.
Thank you for having me.
I really love it.
Oh, you're welcome.
Yeah. And to everyone, if I don't see you before this year ends, have a wonderful Christmas time and a happy new year. And I'm sure we will see each other again. And until then, bye-bye. Till next time. Take care, everyone.